All right. Well, here we are. Today's the day. We are going to try to replace the transmission cooler lines, which start down here and they run up under the battery and up into the transmission cooler under this header piece. This is a 2011 Dodge Grand Caravan. I've noticed it's been leaking some fluid lately, and it actually kind of started splattering all over the battery and the engine cover just recently. We haven't been driving this van much this winter, so it's just been setting. Once we started driving it, I noticed that it was, I kind of noticed last year it was leaking, but we're gonna start with the coolant lines because they are kind of grubby. Oh, let's see what happened here. Because the coolant lines, as you can see here, are kind of grubby. They have stuff caked all over them, so I'm hoping that that's what's going on. I'm not positive, but we're gonna dig into this. I'm gonna show you guys how I do it. It's supposed to be not a big problem, but I figured, hey, we'll do a little tutorial on it, see how I do, see if it's an easy job, what kind of skill level it takes just to replace these lines. And I have a funny feeling I have other leaks in here. One, which is not going to be a good one, is way down there. There's your, right there is your oil filter. That's attached to an oil cooler that's underneath all of this. The intake manifold, everything has to come off to get to that. But that'll be another project. So we're gonna see where we go. So let me set up and we'll go from there. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take off, there it is, I think 8 bolts, all 10 millimeter, that we have to take off to get this header panel off. I forget what this is called. Radiator support, yeah, off. There's a couple of clips here and here that hold the grill in place that I have to pop out, and then I just got to take these bolts off, pull the grill back. There's a couple more bolts under here, here, and here. Get this all off and out of the way. That way I can access my radiator or my coolant lines. And then we'll go from there. I'll show you what's going on after that. Just use my handy. And already topped the pin on them, so just remove those. So far the job only really requires like a 10 mil socket, a pick, and a pull pin remover. So here's a bolt here. Again, this is a 2011 Dodge Grand Caravan. I think there's many years that are pretty much the same that this applies to. Let's see, I'll probably need a ratcheting wrench for that. Underneath there, there's a little trying to get impact driver in here. I'll just take these two out by hand. can. They make the ones that you can't get to easy the longest screws out of everything. I guess they're all long, but when you do it with a hand tool, it takes forever. It's been a pretty good van for me, aside from small stuff like this. Well, this isn't really small. If it's got this oil leak, like I suspect, you're probably not going to be too happy. Of course, a little bit of penetrating oil. Never hurt anybody. Always a stubborn one somewhere. Always the last bolt too. Does everybody notice that it's never one that's right up easy to get to? It's always the last bolt. Always one of the hard ones to get to. All grimy and gross. Okay, so this should come up out of here. You just set this aside, and that exposes your cooler lines here and here. And then I can get to those down there. It looks pretty simple. I'm probably gonna have to get a rag or something in there, so oil down right here. So I'll put this right down there and I'm just putting the rag down on top of the transmission right below the coolant lines to soak up anything. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys where the lines are. So the coolant lines are right here. So I have to get in there, pull this plastic away, and there's some spring clips that I have to get at and unspring, and that should remove the lines. Same thing with down here, it's the same thing. You're going to pull the plastic caps away from the top of the hose, and then there should be some spring clips to remove. So let me see if I can adjust the optics here to give you a little bit better view. Bird's eye view. I wish I could bring you in closer, but I'll be able to do that. So let me take this. Okay, so I've exposed the clip, and I kind of see what's going on there. So you have to slide them up and out. Which is going to be sort of fun. Man, I hope I don't lose these. I don't know if the new hoses came with them or not. Hopefully they do. There we go. There's one. Let's see if I can get it. I'm going to try to get a pair of needle nose pliers. Okay, let's see. Can I grab it? And away she goes. Get down there. Of course, I lost it. Oh, have big old fumbly hands. Let's see if I can recover this without too much trouble. I have a magnet. And there we go. One spring clip recovered. Alright. Okay, so these are supposed to just slide right out, which it did. So I take that line out of the way, and then I gotta get in here and get the bottom one, which is a little further down. Hopefully I can get to this spring clip easily. Then I'm going to use my pick to kind of pull it off. Okay. See if I can grab it with my pliers this time and not lose it. Nope, same thing. Shot down into the oblivion. So anyways, here we are. What I replaced. Let me pop this cap here and show y'all. Right under here is where there's a spring clip. You just take it out with a pick. See, you can actually see me wiggle it around. And that just holds these in place. So 1, 2, you just have to make sure you line them up properly. Then this snaps back in place. I'm doing this after the fact. This came around under the battery. Here's the hose, the new hose that comes up, comes around, and it is under the radiator support. You saw me pull the clips off of there. I got the whole job done. They're nice and clean. Everything holds in place. I just wanted you guys to see this because I realized that what I videoed, I couldn't show you that. Oops. Bouncing stuff around. I couldn't show you what I did down here because of the way I had the camera done. The engine, I'm still getting a leak, and that's going to be coming from under here. It's an oil leak. Sorry, see, it's to the left of there. So I had to order a new oil cooler, which they say that leak sits underneath the manifold, and that's going to be a whole nother job I'm going to show you guys. It is what it is. You gotta take this all off. Wow, I just realized that I've watched a couple of videos on this and how it's going to be a little bit easier to get to, it looks like, on this engine because everything's out in the open pretty good. So okay, I'm gonna try to Skype this into my video before I post it online for you guys. Just hopefully you can see those lines, 2 lines there, 2 lines that came up here, held in by clips for the transmission coolant lines. Easy peasy fix. Next one I said will be on the cooler, the oil cooler, which will be coming off. Maybe I'll have this video dropped in about a week once I get the part. I have to do the job and let you guys know how it works. Okay.